Alrighty, good afternoon, people. How are we doing today? So it looks like that we have our next round in the ALTTPR League Season 4 going on. And today we are going to have a very interesting match between Team Go and Team Don't Forget to Track Us. So it looks like representing Team Go, we have Vortex of Doom onto the left right now. And on the right, representing Team Don't Forget to Track Us, we in fact have PRD Wong. And it looks like we are starting. What are we doing? We'll just go Link's house start. Nothing too much to note of in the first chest, and they're both getting up the sign right now, setting up that tier 1 tree pull. And it looks like we got some red rupees on there. It's always nice to see some hams going along early game because that's going to help us secure our bottle vendor in the very beginning and allow us to get some bombs. A couple tree pulls, 160 bucks. It's nice to see. Alrighty, just some arrows, just that uncle. So not too much to sing home about, but that's all right. We still got plenty of checks, so now we're gonna head to Sank probably, and let's see what we get in the Sank chest. It looks like we're getting our first small key to Turtle Rock, and minor rep divergence already going on at 115 in. So it looks like that Vortex is going to be checking Lake Hylia Island and probably setting up a Houlihan maybe. And I like what Vortex is doing because he's going up and it looks like that he's going to be checking Sahasrara first and doing that early. So Sahasrara is a nice 3 checks that we'll be getting, and a little bit of detail on what the green pendant is. And today, Skull Woods is looking like the green pendant, so still something that the runners might end up wanting to dip at some point or another just because it's a couple quick, easy checks, but we'll take a look at that. And back of Sahasrara, not getting too much on Vortex's side. He's getting his safety, so that's always nice. He's getting his blue mail, but also getting a GT key, which we won't be using for a while. But $300 laying around the woods. Somebody lost their wallet, and it looks like that PRD Wong might not be giving that back. And looking like our tier 2 tree pull on Wong's side is just going to be some hearts. So I think we'll be sticking to the tier 1 tree pull for a little bit. Although I don't think our runners are going to need too much more money once they get their Zora money and maybe a little bit of extra money for chess games for Dark World when they get there. But sitting at a nice 400 early on is really nice because that's going to give them bomb money, that's going to give them the bottle vendor money, and they really don't need too much more for the Light World aside from getting that 500 rupees for Zora. And yes, we are getting plenty of high fives right now, and getting our first sword in Cackwell and Hookshot. 2 really nice items to see early. It's always nice to have that early weapon, and then Hookshot will not only get you around quicker, but it also will allow you to check your stun prize in case your stun prize is important, and just kill some really annoying enemies really quickly. And also getting the Ice Rod, so no, looks like we're not getting an Ice Rod hunt for this game, which is perfectly fine. But my money is always that if you get an early Ice Rod, we're looking at a Pendant TR. But, which doesn't matter too much today because we are doing Fad Key Sanity, meaning that we're doing all dungeons Key Sanity, so all full Key Sanity. So keys are going to be shuffled. big keys are going to be shuffled everywhere, maps, compasses. And with the exception of the castle tower keys for AGA 1, those will remain in their vanilla locations. And looking like that CAC is really stacked today. So now we're picking up our Master Sword. So Master early, always nice to see, unless you get Lamp and cannot find Dark World access. Then it's not fun to see. Our bottle vendor just having Thieves Big Town key right over there. Thieves Town Big Key. So it's always good to get that out of the way early. That'll give us some additional checks and allow us to complete the dungeon early. So looking like we're going to need just a little bit more progression to see really which direction we could be going right now. It's nice that we have hook shot and things like that. Chat, what did you catch on the bookshelf? Was that flute? I saw it for a very split second, but I want to make sure that was in fact flute. So it looks like that we're going to be, if Misery Mire is a crystal. Oh, actually, no, never mind. I keep forgetting. It is all dungeons this one. Therefore, boots are going to be required this seed in order to get that flute off of the shelf. So for the runner stakes, I'm hoping that they get flute or they get boots early so that they can get their flute for travel sakes. And Vortex getting his information right now that flute is on the bookshelf. So it's looking like PRD Wong is going to be heading and making his way to Sahasrara, picking up some of his items right over there, GT Key and his safety blue mail. And at this point, we might even see the Eastern dip on his end. So Wong getting his information on the green pendant as well, being Skull Woods. So let's see what our runner decides to do. And it does look like that he is going, and he's going to go for that Sahasrara check, or the Eastern Palace check right now. So he can go in, and logically, you have 3 chests that are in logic, I believe, without the lamp. However, dark rooms, especially in Eastern, to these runners are really going to be a walk in the park for them. So they'll most likely be checking all the chests, even the dark room lock checks. And another really nice reason to have the sword early on and the hook shot to deal with these mini Moldorms. Although it looks like Vortex is opting to snipe them with bombs right now and showing off just a little bit and tagging them all rather quickly. And he gets his bombs back for it. Wow, mini Moldorm coming in with all the big keys right now. So it looks like that Vortex had received the Swamp Big Key and the Ice Palace Big Key. Personally, I really do like I really do like the choice of PRD Wong on the right side over here because I think getting that Eastern Palace check done early. I know not many people enjoy doing it, especially in Key Sanity, because of the fact that you can't really complete it, even if you have the bow. But I think that it's just really nice to just get out of the way early. It's a few quick checks, and the earlier that you do it, I feel like the less time that you're losing because you get it done early enough in the seed, and if you get something good from it, then it may even just counterbalance the fact of any time loss that there is from it. So not too much in Ice Rod Cave, and it looks like that Vortex is electing out of doing flipper lock checks from fake flippering. So it looks like that he's going to be heading his way to Hyrule Castle and doing Escape. So let's see where this progression takes us, because there's, like I was mentioned before, we have a bunch of different pieces to our puzzle right now, but we don't really have exactly what we need to surefire go into one way. We're mainly looking for either two gloves or a glove and a hammer right now to see which direction we can go in, or maybe we end up getting the book and the boots to be able to clear, or book and glove to be able to do Desert Palace if it's not boots locked. So it looks like that we have a couple different options that we just need just a little bit more. Akira, if we get that early lamp, you would be correct. Early Aga might be the play. I won't say that it's required, but it just might be the play depending if everything else turns up dry. Because we do have our Moon Pearl, so then they would end up getting... They would get Eastern Dark World access and Northern Dark World access, and actually even Western with the hook shot. And there we go with the lamp in Hyrule Castle right now. So now that we have Lamp and Master Sword, there is a chance that Aga may be required, because Aga is now in Logic, especially with the 2 Castle Tower keys being vanilla. I love the meat shield strat that Vortex is doing right now. I think it's one of my favorite things to just freeze the guard and then toss them into something, or as well doing that in turtle. And we get the boots. We get early flute. That is so nice to see. And okay, I was scared that he was going to try to bomb himself, because he does have blue mail. 3 hearts or not, he does have blue mail, and that would take a lot of bombs, which are precious early game valuable resources. Yes, the runners did check Lumberjack, and Lumberjack was, or PRD Wong did, and Lumberjack is Cape. Alrighty, Wong getting his lamp right now, probably thinking that he might have to do Aga, but at least he'll be rewarded with boots afterwards. It is all dungeon, and Aga 1 will have to be, or will be required regardless to do in order to complete the game and be able to fight Ganon. So no matter what, they will have to do it. But my only comment is that if they have to do it early versus later, they do it now, it may be more of a time sink if it's not required, versus if they do it later on when they may have Tempered Sword, they may have Fire Rod or Silvers to be able to speed up some of the rooms and some of the kills. And Vortex having the double heart speed in the back of Escape right now, getting that key and going through these dark rooms. Setting up for a Death Warp, and we always like to see that. And let's see what we have today in the back of Escape. Just a little bit of love, Bugnet, and the big key to Skullwoods. So, interesting thing that we get the big key to Skullwoods early and the big key to Swamp Palace early. Those are 2 nice big keys to have, because they are not required for actually opening any any big doors or progression inside the dungeon, they only open up the single check of the big key, the big chest. So the fact that they get those early is actually really nice because that means they won't have to double dip or triple dip anywhere. They can just, as they clear the dungeon, they can just get that big check. And looks like Vortex going in and just clearing Aga 1 right now, which I don't mind this call at all. I think getting it out of the way is definitely a play to make, especially if he thinks that his opponent Wong will be searching around hoping for get Dark World access elsewhere. And Wong just chasing down the boots right now and checking Bonk Rocks, and probably will be going to Flute soon as well. Bonk Rocks having the small key to Desert, so that is very nice to see, actually. That will give us 2 checks on the right side of Desert to be able to see. And Wong picking up his flute, so we'll be getting the duck out very soon on his end, and then he will unlock fast travel effectively. So now the big question is, while Vortex is doing Aga 1 right now, where does Wong go next? Does he take this and go to Death Mountain? Because full Death Mountain access is now in Logic, or almost full. He can't make it up to Tower of Herod just yet. But it looks like he's going to be doing his South Shore checks. I don't believe he did his South Shore checks just yet. He did not, judging by the fact that he had not opened up the chest in Dam right now. So while Vortex is taking care of Aga and getting that nice, quick speed right over there, it looks like that Wong is going to be doing his South Shore checks. And then we'll see if maybe he takes Death Mountain, whether he decides to do Aga as well. But enough of this seed is open for him where he's not bottlenecked into Aga just yet, and he might be hoping that Aga 1 is not the logical access this early on to Dark World. All right, chat. How many blue balls is he getting? So far, he sounds like he's been very lucky. But let's see. Let's take some guesses. How many blue balls do you think he's going to be getting from this point on? 5 and 10. You two are very mean. That is like 2 full cycles of just blue balls. So I think that was just 1 blue ball, if I'm correct, if I heard that right. Which means he had a very nice time. That Aga was playing very nicely with him. Ooh, let's see which small key's on the ledge right there. Small key to Thieves Town. That is actually very nice to see. So they have the big key and the small key to Thieves Town. All they're missing is the hammer, and they'll be able to full clear it. But right now, he can clear Thieves Town all but 1 check. And we're getting our Gina check on the right side on Wong's stream right now, which I believe I saw the Either Medallion on Desert Ledge. So that may be required, may not be required. It depends on what our dungeons or what our coin dungeons are today and what they are. So picking up the GT key, small key there as well. So now we have 2 GT smalls. Not going to be too important until much later in the run, but always nice to have early. And it looks like Vortex just going and getting his cape. I like this play, you know, just in case bumper cave is something. And in these seeds, generally, when you're mixing all the keys everywhere, you're gonna be a little less healthy because there's less chances for you to get hearts, or it's less likely for you to get hearts usually. You know, if you're picking up keys in the overworld and everything. So I would say I like this just because it's a nice safety for him to have. And chat informed me that that actually just might have been blind on his end, which makes it even better. And thank you for spotting that out from the chat. So yes, it looks like that old man today was giving us some flippers for returning him from the cave that he was lost in. So that'll be good because now that gives us that's no hunt for getting Swamp Palace done. We have the Swamp Palace. We're just looking for the small key for Swamp now, and it allows us to get all of our water checks in. And chat saluting the swag duck. All right, let's see if Death Mountain is the play. All right, we got our first bottle in there. So fetch quests all day today, and we got our Eastern Big. So if we get that early bow, if we get it, then we're able to just full clear Eastern Palace right now, which we know that we've seen that Eastern really didn't have too much in it. And ooh, Wong missing the bomb jump across Paradox Cave right now. Gonna have to go back up the stairs and try that again. Yeah, you gotta slip right onto the corner over there. That bomb will be slightly placed up and damage boost you right across without you activating any of the frames to fall down. So nice little tricks to do to save you some time. If Bo was vanilla today, that would just be absolutely evil unless they find their other Bo first somewhere else. Bo being in the first chest, or in the big chest of Eastern Palace, that is. Which they did not have their Eastern Palace big key prior to entering. Which, come to think of it, I believe they could have actually gotten their Eastern Palace big key before going to Eastern if they'd chased down the boots and flute before dipping Eastern. But I can't blame either runner for going there first. And what does the sick kid have for us today? It looks like he is so thankful that he gave us a used tissue, being the map of Tower of Hera today. Now, that's something you don't see very often. So Wong going in and trading his bead to the bottle vendor in order to get a quick $100, which puts him at that magical 497 mark, which is just 3 shy of getting to Zoro. So it'll be rather quick for him to be able to get that last 3 rupees in order to get Zora and be able to go there, because Zora's now in logic since we had the flippers. So let's see what Hobo gives him, and I'm going to assume that we're going to make our way to Zora, which should be 4 checks. Spiral Cave, nothing promising today. Fortunately, just some explosives. And Hobo gives you his mirror. That will make it very nice for just quickly traversing and switching between dark and or dark world and light world now for early checks, especially now that we have boots and flute. So with that, it looks like that Wong is going to be making his way into Hyrule Castle. And what shall he be doing today? It looks like Wong going for Aga Axis now. So now it's Wong's turn to do the Aga climb. Chat, you are absolutely right. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that after Aga, it will be Pyramid check into Catfish check, and then mirroring into the Light World, which brings you right outside of Zoro to do Waterfall check, Zora check, and Ledge check. So I'm thinking that that may be the play right now, which is a really nice way and really good condensing of his locations. Alrighty, Vortex picking up his mirror right now. And chat correcting me and chat. So, Akira, you do bring up a good point. Catfish actually cannot be done yet because you do need a glove. Oh wait, but they have boots, so I think they should be able to bonk through. Or is there a I can't remember if there's one before as well. But I think their gloves is actually required for Catfish. Yep, being confirmed. There is a rock in the way, so they will not be able to do Catfish just yet. Looking like Waterfall Cave, just some big bucks. And was that our first bow that we saw on Zora Ledge? Are my eyes deceiving me? Can we now full clear Eastern and have some logical actions to dip a little bit into Pod, but no small keys, so never mind. Pod is not looking very feasible. All the GT smalls. That is 3 GT smalls now. So Vortex picking up their first bow. Always nice to see. So let's see what the runners decide to do. And it looks like we might be getting our first Hera check of the day. Now that we have Mirror to be able to make it across the rock. Vortex getting their info that there's nothing of use in that cave right now, Spectacle Rock. However, there is a delectable temper sword sitting right above there. And unfortunately, he ate the fairy that he was trying to catch. So the fact that they have no Hera keys means that they can only do 2 checks right over here. They can do the basement check or the downstairs check right here, which is looking like Moldorm is just hiding a ham. And they will be able to do the check right over here. And let's see what it is. It is a pod small. So that is our first pod small. And we get the lovely Hera pot glitch going on Vortex's side. So with that, they are effectively able to skip the big key lock that is right in the second floor of Hera, and they now made it to the top floor. So with that said, they'll be able to head on up and fight the boss, because the boss is not behind a locked door either. So with that said, Vortex will be completing Hera, getting some knowledge if Hera is a crystal or pendant, and followed by seeing if, or orphaning these 2 checks of Hera Big Chest along with Hera Basement. Hera Basement needing the Tower Hera Small Key, and Hera Big Chest needing the Big Key. Meanwhile, we're getting some mirror checks going on Wong's side over here. And more fetch quests. The king was buried with his shovel. That was his trusty item. Getting our first look at Bumper Cave's ledge. And that is our first glove. This is an Aga required seed. So with that said, Wong going up and getting his cape right now so that he can then pick up his first glove. Which actually, I don't think he can pick up his first glove, because I think that's actually, that might actually be glove lock, so. And Doom heading over to Pod, doing his first pod check, and maybe even going to Eastern as well, since he has the mirror, so he can do both. Bringing Kiki to the lovely monkey to be able to go up there, as Kiki takes 100 rupees. And Wong forgetting he does not have a glove to get his second glove. So we will be getting our first pod check right now. And with 1 small key, there's not too much we can do. However, we can go to the Bowlock side, which requires no keys. We just can't hop down from it with no hammer. And getting our first Skull Woods check on Wong's side. I like to play on Vortex's side on finishing up Eastern Palace while you can. Getting the Arrow of Destiny just to further confirm that he made the right choice, giving him 21 arrows. 3 spare arrows to be able to kill Armos next. And so far, not too much to note from Dark World side on Wong's side. So far, it has not been coming up with too much. Just 50 bucks in the other Skullwoods chest. But it looks like we're going to see a bomb jump on Wong's side, because they do, in fact, have the Skullwoods big key. So this is what I've mentioned before. You can just clear this out and get the compass to that same dungeon. So now you can see exactly how many chests you've cleared. Who needs to keep track in this game when you can just get all the compasses? Misery Mire compass? Easy game. And Greg the Green Rupee shows his face. I had to hold my breath there on Wong's side, because I thought that he got hit by the Gibdo and bumped into the hand, which I think that's all happened to us at least once or twice. So glad that wasn't the case, but... Alright, we're getting our Dark Cat chest. Just a little bit of rupees in Sea House right now, so nothing too much. And Vortex picking up their vanilla or their big key chest, being another pod small. And that Igor just being rude and telling him no, standing and going to bed right in front of the pathway. And from Wong, we get our first Thieves Town check. I'm liking the divergence that's going on between these two runners right now. We're getting a little bit of information from all parts of the world on both sides, and I absolutely love it. The question is, who's going to get that first progression? I think the hunt right now is for first glove and first hammer. I would say more so say the glove, because as soon as you get your first glove, then you're able to head Bumper Cave and unlock your second glove. However, Vortex doesn't know about that glove just yet, so really, it is Wong that is heading for that and blitzing for that first glove to get their Titan's Mitt immediately, which might make a difference if Vortex does not head up that way Dark World side anytime soon. And yes, very, very good to point out on chat. So one of these lovely updates that has recently happened in this game within the last couple of weeks is now, if you have the map to the dungeon, you don't have to just map check the dungeon. You can walk in the dungeon, and if you see that little C that's right up there, right next to the magic meter to the left of it, that is telling you that this dungeon is a crystal. So that gives you that saves you the map check right then and there. Which, who doesn't love to save some frames? We're getting a look at our Bowlock side from Pod right now. And let's see what this mullet of a dungeon is hiding right now. And it looks like nothing much on the right side. And good eye, it does look like that the pod Big Key was in Thieves Town. So that I missed, which is unfortunate, but that is really nice because if Wong gets a couple more small keys, and ideally the hammer as well, they'll be able to practically full clear pod, assuming that they have the bow. Bow, hammer, and a few smalls, clear pod in one dip. That's usually the goal with a dungeon like this. And the 2R Big Key shows itself. A lot of love there for Vortex now. And Vortex setting up the bomb jump right over here to be able to get over that ledge and effectively save him a key. But not being able to get that big key chest because he has not visited Thieves Town yet and picked up the pod big key. Wong saving the maiden in distress, bringing her to the light to just realize, wait, no, this is just a very punny boss. So if you look on Wong's side right now, you will in fact see the beautifully executed scripted fight. And I say scripted because if you bring Blind in, Blind does the same exact thing every single time, has the same pattern every time. But I'm going to interrupt myself because Blind just dropped the first glove. That is absolutely incredible. And almost French vanilla because in the vanilla game, Blind the big chest gives you the Titan's mitts, and Blind just gave you the first glove. So we'll call it French vanilla enough since it's leading you directly to the Titan myth. What looks like Wong is beelining to right now, giving him full Dark World access effectively. This was, in fact, a required gloveless Thieves' Town. Vortex starting to do their Dark World mirror checks right now. Picking up their Royal Shovel. Alright, and that is Titan's Myth and full Dark World access on the right side. It looks like that Thieves' Town is a good crystal. Turtle Rock is a crystal, and I believe I saw Ice Palace as a crystal as well. That was a quick map check on Vortex's side, but I believe, if my eyes do not lie, that is what I saw. And looks like Shovel Game just giving you a little bit of love after 1.5 million digs. Which honestly is not something too bad right now, seeing that Wong is sitting on 5 hearts. And an early Smith's Chain. I like it. I like the call. Might as well, while you're in the area, you got the Mitch, you got the mirrors. There's no reason not to. So get the early Smiths. The only issue is that you got to remember that you don't have the hammer to do hammer pegs over here. So it is another orphan check by Wong, but it may pay off pretty well. Alright, looks like that we're getting another TR small, and he's probably going to be turning in his lunchbox right now too while he's at it. Chat bringing up a good point that Wong could be missing their bow for a while right now, which I think I agree with. There's always that possibility because now that there's so much of the map open, you really don't want to be sinking all that time to go to Catfish and Zora. So there may be, unless another bow is just smack right in the way, it may go missed for quite a bit. Beautiful bomb jump on Vortex's side. Unfortunately, only getting his Skullwood's compass and the Skullwood's big chest. And Wong not forgetting about the shovel check. We, in fact, have to see what the Royal Shovel is holding today. And it is the other bow. Wong has effectively been bailed from the bow on Zora Ledge, which is really nice to see. I'm sure Wong will be happy about that, assuming that they don't get their bow anytime soon. However, this means that Vortex will have silvers early on, which may make the difference for Vidi. And nice little trick over here on Wong's side. If you have the chest somewhere near the area and you mirror onto the man himself, he believes that you're still bringing him the lunchbox, and he'll give you the contents of, in this case, 1 red boomerang. Can't really eat that, so I don't blame him for giving it back to you. Yeah, I don't assume Silverless Ganon will be a thing just because it is all dungeons. So at one point or another, I believe Zora will be checked. I just don't think Zora will be checked terribly early, or maybe even before Vidi. And anywho, Hype Cave starting out with the hammer. Very nice to see. Misery Mire key, which it is nice to get at least one key for routing before you go in there. But aside from that, not having terribly much. And let's see where Wong decides to go now that they have hammer, bow, and full Dark World access. The decisions. Deciding to head back to Dark World after a quick trip to back home to really think about things. And yes, it does look like Swamp is going to be the call right now. Wong has hammer, has hook shot, and I believe has the Swamp small and Swamp big. Therefore, we're able to just go check Swamp and go full clear, which is a lot of chests. So can't blame the person for wanting to go there and do it early. To answer chat, no, I do not believe that we got our big bomb check. However, I believe we do have the knowledge of the 5-6 crystals, or at least one of them, which looks like it's Thieves Town is one of them. All right, and Vortex picking up his pod big, probably wishing that he got that a little bit earlier, but that's all right. It's only one check, or two checks technically, because now you're able to get to the boss. Once he has hammer, that is. And the nice thing about Wong going into Swamp right now is that they're able to check the big chest right over here. So as soon as they hit up those stairs, they don't have to double back. They don't have to do anything special. Big chest, or they already have the big key to check the big chest. So if anything's important in there, then they're able to get that nice and early in the first clear. And we get the Cane of Samaria first thing. This seed is giving them everything that they need right now. It's ripping them wide open for them, which is very nice for them. So it looks like now with Cane of Samaria, it looks like that Wong is going to be setting up their diver down check by dropping the block right there, going up, kind of smushes yourself in there in between the rail and the block very closely, and you're able to just hop down the rail then, putting you in that water walk state. So it makes it much faster, and you don't have to double back into the room twice. Another beautiful blind scripted fight. That's 2 out of 2 for this stream, and Vortex picking up their first glove. Now, the only thing is, Vortex, if I recall, does not have the info that Titan's Mitt is just sitting oh so diligently there on Bumper Cave Ledge. So we got to see where Vortex takes us, because the glove may lead them elsewhere. You know what? Chad is right. I believe Vortex did actually check it. I must have missed it. Probably checked it when doing Graveyard Ledge, or right before it. So yeah, he definitely knows, because he's making a beeline for it right there. Very fortunate for Vortex having that info prior to getting your first glove. Right. Vortex, no, unfortunately, getting dead rocked right in the pathway. You never like to see it, because if you get dead rocked, you just get pummeled by cabbages everywhere. And something to note, no matter what, those falling stone cabbages always do 1 heart of damage. Doesn't matter what mail you're on, they do 1 heart. Alright, Wong going in for his Argus fight. Getting all the jellies off, and let's see what it is. Let's see if this is the crystal. Let's see if this is another pendant. We are still on the hunt for 1 more red crystal. And Argus holding the fire rod. Just another pod small and a fetch quest and a half on Vortex's side. Meanwhile, Wong clearing out his 2nd crystal dungeon. So getting that fire rod is very nice right now, because they have almost all the items that they need in order to go anywhere. So now checking the Meyer crystal, or not crystal, medallion right now, and also checking Meyer Swamp, which I missed it because I blinked. But it looks like Myers is Bombos, and they have the other 2 coins. So it looks like they will be getting all 3 coins before completing everything. So let's see. I mean, we are 52 minutes in right now. What are we thinking right now? What do we need still? It looks like that we're still looking for Desert Big. Hera Big is optional. Skull Woods Big is optional. You know, we have Ice Palace Big. We're really looking for Misery Mire Big and Desert Big, along with some other keys in GT Big. But we're not looking for too much more, for the most part. We have our Fire Rod, we have our Red Cane. Some other items would be nice, but let's see what these dungeons hold in store. We might be seeing some dungeon diving soon. So it looks like Desert Small really not leading to much. And just some old tattered maps in Meyer Swamp right now. Although we will get that checkerboard cave and see if they're holding anything. Alright, so let's see where Wong decides to go next. So judging by their flute location, I'm thinking that they may be just getting ready to clear to finish up Skull Woods right now that they have the Fire Rod. And yep, just exactly that. Looking like they decided to go back into Skull Woods, just clear out Mothbula, which is, I think, is the right call. I think is a very good call by him. And meanwhile, Vortex going along, checking, doing all the desert checks right now, nicely clumping it after getting Flute and Mitts. All right, and as Wong cuts the curtains, looks like we're going to be getting our mushroom check on Vortex's side. So let's see what this fetch quest leads to. And the mushroom leading to the GT Big Key. So it looks like that was one lucky truffle. Alright, so it looks like that Wong is going to need to take a dip into Super Bunny Cave at some point and pick up their Truffle of Evil in order to get Evil's big key. All right, and it looks like that Wong heading over, continuing the dungeon dive, going into Ice Palace right now. And let's see what this dungeon holds. Meanwhile, Vortex doing their Smith chain and then turning in their lunchbox. But oh wait, no, does not have the hammer yet. It has not cleared Hype Cave yet. So Vortex in search of the hammer right now, prior to progressing any further. Just rewarded with another TR small. And Wong doing or looks like Wong is going to be setting up for the Ice Palace Icebreaker. Skip right now. Meaning that he's just like with the swamp, similar to that, you're going to be setting a Cane of Samaria block, getting it in just the right position to be able to push yourself through that wall. And now he's going to be clearing Ice Palace from reverse, essentially, which saves quite a bit of time compared to doing it the traditional way. All right, and Vortex, just in under an hour, will be getting their silvers right now. And the big chest of Ice Palace is just holding a small key to Skull Woods. So nothing special, nothing important about picking up that Ice Palace Big right there, or for that. And looks like Vortex going to be heading into Swamp right now. Did Vortex pick up their hammer in Hype Cave? I didn't check because I was watching Ice Palace. Well, I don't know if he picked up his oh, they did not pick up the hammer. That is very unfortunate. Hammer's just right around the corner. No, Vortex, what are you doing? So Vortex will not be able to do too many checks in Swamp Palace right now. You'll be able to do that front check right over there and this bomb check. And that's really about it because they won't have the hammer to be able to drain the swamp any further. And nothing for them right there, and unfortunately is going to find the hammer right up in Hype Cave, assuming that is their next check, which it looks like it is. Meanwhile, Wong starting his fight in Cold Stare. And it looks like Wong is conserving some magic right now, trying to get that very sneaky sword beam trick. Which I don't fully understand exactly how it works, so I will not try to pump you with some misinformation right now. So if anyone in the chat understands exactly what Wong's doing, oh no, taking a death before being able to drink the blue potion. So Wong gonna have to traverse all the way through Ice Palace again. And maybe saving it. Oh, well, needs magic first, so. Very unfortunate death on Cold Stare. So Wong making their way into Dark Palace and having the big key and having only 2 small keys, I believe. I don't believe we'll be able to full clear Dark Palace, but we'll be able to get a little bit more. But it looks like that he is actually turning in the green pendant first. And just a ham from Sahasrahla. Still in search for that ever elusive Bombos medallion. Vortex taking his second dip into Swamp Palace right now. And very nice room from Wong over there, being able to shoot the skeletons that are supposed to spawn there with the bow prior to their spawning, and meaning that less of them spawn. And Wong picking up his big key to Tower of Hera, which is always nice to have. Wong has not dipped Tower of Hera yet, so we'll be able to clear out the big chest on the first check. Still no Hera small though, so still waiting on that. And on Vortex's side, in all of its glory, a glowing, powerful stick of butter has now revealed itself, and he is using it as his weapon. We all love to see it. Or at least I do. I know Butter Sword technically doesn't save you terribly much time, but I always love getting it. Meanwhile, Wong heading into Armos Knights right now, going to be clearing this boss out, and then probably taking a dip into Pod. Okay, 2 small keys for Pod, so Wong will have to be very conservative with their door opening, depending on the route. Is the goal to just head to Helmsaur and kill Helmsaur, or is the goal to get all the items, find another key, and then kill Helmsaur later? Depending on that will depend on what the action is. And looking like we are getting both sides right now. Doing that to be able to hammer their way down and skip that front key or that front door. So that's why you saw Wong not go through the front door Pod, able to get around the back of it with the boots and with the hammer. And Vortex picking up their Fire Rod. So now that Swamp is complete, Fire Rod is now in here, and Kane and Samaria, meaning that there are now plenty of options and plenty of dungeons to go to. Let's see. Chat's asking if Pedestal is alive. So let us check right now what our pendants are. We have Skullwood on there. We actually don't technically know what our pendants are. Someone else is saying that Pod is a pendant right now. But we are really just looking for Bombos. We're looking for Desert Palace Big Key. And we're looking for Misery Mire Big Key. So, assuming that Mire is not the third pendant, then Ped would be alive. If Mire is the last pendant, Ped is not alive. But if Mire is a crystal, then Ped is alive. So it all depends on what that last pendant is, because we're looking for 2 things for Mire and 1 thing for Desert Palace. But technically, sorry, Ped would be alive for Desert Palace Big if Mire was a pendant. All right, and Wong setting up for that bomb jump, which I think is very difficult. So I'm going to say that it is a rather difficult trick, and especially probably to get the hang of. Meanwhile, Doom clearing out their big bomb right there, and it doesn't look like finding too much in there, unless I'm wrong. Which chat can correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't quite see what we got in the bomb fairy. Or pyramid fairy, I should say. And we're getting our first catfish check. What are you holding for us today? Just a ham. No one would like to see it. And gone. So I'm thinking Vortex is heading to their Ice Palace check right now. Beautifully routed to be able to do it that way. Just taking the portal and taking the trip up to Catfish, getting it done out of the way. Meanwhile, it looks like that Wong is getting ready to head to the back of Pod and clear out Helmsaur. I like the play of Wong because clearing out the dungeon, he's prioritizing clearing the dungeon, getting the crystal or the pot or the pendant in this case, and getting that out of the way prior to full clearing it, and then hoping to find it later, or hoping to find the key soon, and hoping that there's even something in the dungeon that is required for them. So I do like the play. It's a little bit more aggressive, but I do enjoy the play of clearing the dungeon and worrying about the checks later, because there are many other checks in this game. Meanwhile, Vortex setting up for their icebreaker, beautifully executing it. First try right there. And now we'll be clearing Ice Palace from reverse on their side. Now, herein lays the question, what is Helmasaur hiding today? It'll take a good 14 hammer swings to break that faceplate, and then it'll take several sword hits beyond that with Tempered Sword. Or if he had silvers, just a silver arrow. And just like that, Helmasaur goes down nice and easy. Great fight from Wong's end. Just for a ham. But if we're keeping that red theme going on, we're getting the red pendant with it too. So now that we have Pod and Eastern done, I wouldn't be too surprised to see Wong either go back to the Ice Palace or go up to Hera. But I'm thinking they want a little bit more from TR and be able to clear Hera TR on the same trip. That's always the dream. Climbing the mountain once, clearing TR and Hera on the same trip, and then opening up Ganon's Tower. That would be the absolute dream. But we're looking like we're heading to Ice Palace right now. A little bit more hearts. Has a bottle full of vengeance ready to take on Cold Stare and show him what's what. And once again, getting that lovely Ice Palace or Icebreaker trick. Vortex going into the Forgotten Room, getting some magic refills, and getting ready for their Cold Stare fight. Alrighty, and Vortex being a bully, putting Cold Stare in the corner. Getting the 20 bucks from Cold Stare. Beautiful fight. 3 easy, quick slashes on Vortex's side. And we're going to see what Wong does now, or how Wong handles it now. Being that he's technically that Vortex is sort of ahead of him, so it'll be a little bit quicker on Vortex's side. But unlike Vortex, Wong is in fact full of vengeance and ready to unleash it all right now. And Cold Stare just barely escaping the corner, but too little too late for Cold Stare's end, because it looks like all 3 of them are going down right now. Wong will be awarded with his 20 bucks for his victory. All right, so there's not too much more for our runners to do right now in this case. So I'm going to assume that Wong's going to be taking his trip up the mountain as well, which looks like that he is. Probably going to start with Hera and then into Turtle Rock, seeing that they have the Quake Medallion and are able to open Turtle Rock, unbeknownst to him. Because I do not believe that he's checked yet, seeing that he has no mushroom. And Wong likely picking up his Butter Sword right now. Who can say no to the delectable goodness of butter? And on Vortex's side, we are getting our first look at Turtle Rock. So we've been getting trickled these small keys all throughout the seed and the big key of TR as well. So let's see what it hides for us. Meanwhile, beautiful Harapot coming in from Wong. And we'll be getting our first look at the Hera Big Chest as well. Just being some love. Just a heart container. And another heart container. And another pod small coming in on Vortex's side, making it 5 smalls already. And just 2 slashes and down goes Moldorm. Wong getting their next crystal. Fifth crystal. Alright, and now Wong making their way into Dark World Turtle Rock side will be opening up Turtle Rock and most likely be, before dipping in, be taking a visit to Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave. It's hard to say who's in the lead zone because Vortex has the GT Big Key because they did their fetch quest by turning in the Truffle of Evil, and while they have less crystals done, I think have a little bit more checks done. Meanwhile, Wong is in the dungeon lead right now, but still has to take care of some checks, and maybe if, or it's only time will only tell how long till they turn the mushroom, depending on what they find in TR. Because if they find the Bombos medallion in TR, then that just might lead them straight to Mire. So I think it's a little hard to tell who exactly is in the lead right now. I think it's kind of going to depend on TR location, or not TR location, on Bombo's location and on Misery Mire Big Key location. And there's the Big Key to Desert. Vortex pulling up in Roller Pin Room. Ah, yes, the blue boomerang. That does make a difference. Wong getting his Dark Palace right there. Ped is on life support, but it is still there. There's always that pipe dream that just maybe it'll be a Ped seed. And Laser Bridge not really having too much aside from a TR small, of course. You hate to see it. Yeah, Vortex not checking the lava chest just yet. May orphan the check, or maybe may just get it later. But still looks like no bombos just yet. We do have access to Moldorm now, though. Beautiful zero cycle on Vortex's side of Trinex. Nice little thing that you can do with the Butter Sword. And what is this Rock Snake dropping off for us today? Half Magic. Okay. Half Magic not being half bad. You are correct, chat. Okay, so let's see if they decide to go to Desert now. Just clear out Moldorm and see what is behind. And Vortex taking their dip into Desert Palace right now. Let's see what the Desert Big Chest holds today. Can still get 2 more checks that we haven't seen just yet on Vortex's side. So far, the chest just blowing a kiss at him. And let's see what land Moldus holds today. I just realized I've been saying Moldorm, and now I understand why chat's been saying wrong worm. My bad. Land Moldus. They're all worms. They all look buggy. You mix them up sometimes. It happens. Wong about to pick up their Desert Big Key right now. And beautiful Silvers shooting in with true aim on Vortex's side. And more fetch quests. Now we have the Magic Powder. If there's anything that this seed has been telling us today, Shovel held Bow. Mushroom held GT Big Key. What do you think Powder's going to hold today? This seed has been very fetch questy. I missed it. Was Land Molus the last crystal? I'm gonna assume yes, judging by the fact that that Vortex is struggling to fight the dead rocks and the cabbage that are falling down the mountain right now. Yep, if Desert is in fact the crystal, we can pull Pet off life support right now because Pet is no more. So Vortex making their way up the mountain again to head to GT. Which I guess if we're heading in, actually never mind. I instinctively just try to start the GT Big Key game, but it's Key Sanity. We have it already. So yeah, so likely in the 22 or 23 checks that we have in GT, I think 23 with the big chest included, we do have a chance of having or 23 checks prior, I should say, 23 checks prior to going upstairs. We do have a chance on getting Bombos and the Meyer Big Key both in Ganon's Tower. Just and getting the Tower Hera small, that's not something that you want to see right now. Although at the very least, they are right there and they can just mirror the Tower of Hera, but that's still not something that you like seeing. Wong shortly about to get their last crystal information as they complete Land Molus and within the next minute or two. GT showing a lot of love right now, giving 2 big smooches in that 2 hearts. And the last pod small key on GT Torch. Chat pointing out once again that I am in fact blind because there is in fact a C showing that it is a crystal, meaning that Wong knows this is a crystal way ahead of time. So thank you, chat. Thank you for keeping me true. Now, Wong about to make their climb up to GT, however, still holding on to the mushroom, and we all know that that Truffle Evil, in fact, has the GT Big Key behind it, thanks to the witch. So, we'll have to double dip GT, and any more progression found in GT is just going to send them further and further away from where they have to go. Wow, just hams, and hams at Randall Room on Vortex's side. It's almost like it's Christmas. If Mr. Meyer Key were to be vanilla, we still need to get the Bombos to find it first. But I think any vanilla big key is just absolutely evil in Key Sanity mode. Even just French vanilla. Although we have to start thinking to ourselves, where is this big key? Is Misery Mire? Is it in Ganon's Tower still? It's starting to, the checks are really starting to wear dry, and you know, it could be in Misery Mire, it could be in GT, or it could be in Magic Powder right now. And if we get the book, it could be on either of the book tablets. Only place that it can't be, which I'm about to break a lot of hearts right now again, is PED. And Vortex starting their climb after receiving all that money. Loads of it. Probably. Ooh, and Vortex taking a fall, dashing into one of the little cannonballs. You hate to see it. So you have to ask yourselves right now, do either of these runners maybe feel like they're behind? Vortex orphaned the tile room for Ganon's Tower, and between both players, I feel like that there are definitely some checks that have been orphaned from them that they have not gone back to yet. So you have to wonder, you know, does anyone particularly feel as behind? Is maybe Vortex sweating the fact that they did not check that they didn't check Thieves Town, Big Chest, I believe, because I don't believe they had the hammer at the moment. You know, is anyone, you know, kind of thinking to themselves, man, maybe it could be that one place. Neither area went lava chest, and Akir, thank you for bringing it up. So thank you for this. I'll raid down this list. Hair Big Chest from Vortex has been orphaned. Hair Basement from both players. Lava Chest from both players. Thieves Town Big Chest from both players. And Zora on Wong's side. As well as Spike Cave. Nobody did check Spike Cave yet. By the time that they were up there the first couple times, they really didn't have enough hearts to do it. They were sitting on, I want to say they were sitting on less than 6 to 8 hearts for most of the seed until the last 20 minutes or so. And then Wong still having to check Mushroom. Both of them still having to check Magic Bat. And Wong about to start receiving his hams back to 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 back. And what is in chest of validation today? We will solve this mystery in about 2 seconds. And just some bombs and chest of validation on Vortex's side. Two beautiful cycles coming in from Vortex in this Aga fight. And Ag is just one away from going down for the last time. And let's see. Does he? Oh, you got the cape out. It looks like we are getting our tile room check. This could be very exciting. This could be huge for Wong if tile room is holding one of the 2 go mode items that we need. And one little trick that you can do that it doesn't seem like that Wong is doing right now is if you want to have a coffee break while you're doing tile room, you can just simply equip the cape, activate the cape, and then hold on to a wall, and your magic meter. And GT just giving us some more love from tile room. Unfortunate for Wong. So it looks like we will now be heading somewhere else. Looks like we're heading to Spike Cave right now. Meanwhile, Vortex gonna clear out his green pendant and trade in his green pendant. So the ever so elusive Meyer, Big, and Bombos medallion are still at large. And in this case for Wong, also the GT Big Key, but just a shield upgrade in Spike Cave, so nothing to really note of. And Wong still not having his big bomb check, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him just rush right over there and grab it. But it looks like he is going to Catfish. So he's probably going to do Catfish into Zora check, and he will at least be rewarded with his silvers. And let's see if he mirrors here and he remembers to turn in his mushroom. If he turns in his mushroom right over here, which it looks like he is, he will be rewarded with the GT Big Key, and he probably won't be happy to see that right now. All right, so Wong getting his unfortunate news right there. Okay, Vortex reward with Sahasrah's ancient family heirloom. Probably will turn that in the very near future. And it looks like he's gonna go Dark World side because he does have Pod Big to still do, or Pod Big Chest and Helmsword to still defeat. And did we see every chest in Palace of Darkness? I'm trying to think right now. I don't know if did we see Helmsword Hellway or Hallway? I don't remember if we saw every single chest. I think one of them might have been orphaned by both parties because of lack of keys. Pick up another GT small, and Vortex just getting his $20 for that ancient heirloom. Okay, so chat telling me that they don't believe so either, that that Pod was or has any orphaned checks aside from the big chest and Helmosaur on Vortex's side. So it looks like Wong is going to be starting their climb again. Another big key chest just holding a heart. And I don't think Wong did Magic Bat yet either when he was out there traversing. I could have missed it, but I do not believe that he checked Magic Bat yet. So we could still have something on Magic Bat if he did not check it. And get another slick bomb jump in on Vortex's side. This is one of those simple things that I just absolutely love seeing every time. Just to find the heart container. Unfortunately, as we know, he's not going to be finding what he's looking for in Pod. We know that. And yeah, rip Hera basement. He looks like Wong forgot to go in and check Hera basement, or just simply did not want to check it and deal with that. Which he has all these checks versus the one check in Hera basement that's going to take a couple minutes. But I think for thorough sake that that is a heavy gamble to do. Being that on failure of it, you have to re-climb Death Mountain again. Yeah, I can't blame him. I truly can't blame Wong for the decision that they made. Because, like I said, all these checks versus the one Hera check, it's just unfortunate because we know that there's nothing here. If something was in Lava Chest, and if Bombos is in Lava Chest, and Turtle Rock really did us dirty by putting the last key in Laser Bridge, that would be so mean of this seed after giving us such a beautiful start to an open world, a whole new world. Cue Aladdin singing it. Alrighty, and on Vortex's side, looks like we're about to do the Helmosaur fight. So 14 hammer thwacks and 2 butter slaps, and Helmosaur should be going down. Or we just get the single silver arrow shot. And by single, I mean 3 shots, but first try anyway. First try in my heart. To be honest and to be completely fair, it is very annoying to shoot Helmosaur when he is in that mode because he's just constantly running around. He truly trolls you with all of his dodges. Alright, and Wong progressing on in his climb right now. Unfortunately, will not be finding what he's looking for. So it looks like we will be getting the Spike Cave check right now on Vortex's side, and probably also the Hera Small. Although I think if they were going to do that, they might have wanted to route it the other way, assuming that that's what their goal is. I could be completely wrong about that. So Matt, what else do we have to do? I really think that it's coming down to the wire of checks right over here right now. There's really not much more we can do aside from those very out-of-the-way orphan checks. We have most of our overworlds done as well. Ah, and the beautiful music switch in time for the double beeps. No, Saber. It is not Cat Jam. This is not Cat Jam time for double heart beeps. Shout outs to the restream who just swapped that over. Because now instead of double beeps, we're getting the flute. So now Wong going to be starting their long list of single checks to do that they did not want to have to think about. Meanwhile, it is coffee break time for Vortex. This is the perfect time to take a stretch, maybe use the bathroom, go brew a coffee, read the newspaper, finish the crossword, and by the time that you finish all that, tile room just may be done. Yeah, meanwhile, really though, shout outs to the runners right now who are handling this sea and this monstrosity of a Bombos location. Truth be told, it is just absolutely wonderful that they're able to take care of all this in such a timely manner, because it has only been an hour and 46 minutes and they're still going, and very, very soon probably will be finishing it, because there's not that many more checks to go. They've done almost everything. They've almost done everything already, which is crazy to think about. So shout outs to Vortex of Doom, shout outs to PRD Wong on that one. If you aren't following them already, by all means, go in there, give a follow, show a little love, say hi. Maybe ask them how their day is. Whatever you want to do. Yeah, looks like Hera Small not leading us to anything good. I think we may be getting the Thieves Town Big Chest check right now. Oh, and there's still hammer pegs. I forgot about that one entirely. See, this is why they're the runners and I'm not the runner. I would have forgotten about this entirely. And what does the survey say? Survey says somebody else lost their wallet. So Wong about to recover a lost wallet right now as well, while Vortex is giving us our first check as to the curse of a century. And we have been cursed with 10 arrows today. They are flabbergasted and still have no idea where this elusive coin is hiding. But boy, are they neck to neck 1 hour and 48 minutes in. They are just right on each other's heels. I'm wondering right now if Vortex is really sweating it, and like if that Ganesh tile room check is really weighing on them right about now. If it's not in Thieves Town Big Chest, what would you check first, chat? Would you check tile room or would you check lava chest first if it's not in Thieves Town Big Chest? I think if I were in the runner's shoes, I might just gamble it, and I would have checked tile room first if I was in Vortex's shoes. But I understand the lava check first in general. But I would gamble it because I probably would feel behind if I did that, because I was there 15 minutes ago. Although there's a 50-50 chance right now that this is the item that we need. I think the cruelest in the cruelest world, This is Bombos, which gives you Mire access, which it is not. And Lava Chest would be Mire Big Key. But it looks like that they, in fact, last location this, and it is Lava Chest. So this seed is so cruel that it gave you everything you wanted at first, and then told you, oh, but you're going to be missing a Turtle Rock Small, so you better, but don't worry, I'll give it to you later, and gives it to you on Lava Chest, locking, or not Lava Chest, it gives it to you on Laser Bridge, locking Lava Chest, which has the required Bombos Medallion in order to enter Misery Mire, which looks like Misery Mire has the big key in there somewhere, French Vanilla, or even Vanilla, to complete the game and slay the evil pig once and for all. That is horrible to think about. This is going to be a fantastic post-game interview. I cannot wait. Now, I'm very curious to see which option Vortex of Doom does, because he has two options right here. Oh, wait, Wong did not check one of the chests in pod and is going to pod before going to TR. So Wong did have an orphan check in pod. So Wong going to be getting his heart container up here. Not being what he needs. And then falling down to get something else that is not what he needs again. And now he's got to go through the hallway to get the last item, which is still not what he needs. If Lava Chest holds the book, this is just the true fetch quest seed. But it is not. It holds Bombos, and I am slightly nauseated right now just staring at that. Lucky for Vortex, the Mire Big Key is not on Ganon's Tower's tile room. And chat being really mean right now, hoping for all the fetch quests to be something, and that they had that double dip required Misery Mire. And Vortex, the first one to open and take foot into Misery Mire right now. Still looking for the big key, though. Mind you. And that Beamof's just robbing him of his sword beams. Unfortunate. And we are getting Arcana Burnout right now because we are pseudo completing 100% mode in this game. We are just a shield and a book away from 100%ing A Link to the Past, effectively. Well, aside from, you know, all the hearts. Still missing hearts. And Wong being trolled with the wrong size key from Misery Mire. Meanwhile, Book is being found in Misery Mire right now. Not what you want to see. Some people's days are being made in chat right now, and just one horrible tablet check away from Go mode being on tablet. And a forced Misery Mire double dip. This is what runners wanted to see, especially after this seed. After their Bombos location. Oh, that's what I'm saying, William. This is exactly what the chat wanted to see, but not what the runners want to see. And welcome, SpeedGaming 2, and welcome to all the viewers. Right now, you're joining in on a lovely seed that both runners have last located their Bombos medallion in Turtle Rock Lava Chest, being the fact that they only were given 2 keys prior to entering Turtle Rock, and the last Turtle Rock key being on Laser Bridge itself. So we are seeing Vortex right now, who is ahead and did not find their Misery Mire big key in Misery Mire. After needing Bombos medallion to open it up, they received a book in there, meaning that the Misery Mire big key is in fact on a tablet. This is not what the runners want to see, feel, or hear. So some F's in the chat for the fact that they have to go through and find a tablet. So now this is a forced double dip of Misery Mire, that is. After double dipping Turtle Rock. And after some of the runner or one of the runners having to double dip Ganon's Tower. This is just not their seed. This is the 4th fetch quest of this seed. And it is Bombos. So now, officially at 1 hour, 57 minutes, and I believe 56 seconds, Vortex of Doom is now officially in Go mode. This was the fetch quest seed of a century. Mire big on Bombo's tablet. Mushroom holding the Ganon's Tower big key. Shovel holding the bow. And I believe there was one more. Boots locking the flute. And there was one more. Chat, help me out here. What was the last one? There's one more fetch quest. Boots, so Shovel had bow, Boots had Ocarina, Book had Mire big, and Mushroom had GT key. Was there one more? I mean, the Thieves Town thing is just a whole silly progression chain overall. Yes, Boots and Mirror did have Shovel, but Boots did lock Shovel. This was just such a silly progressive chain in general. And looks like Wong heading in to check the tablet right now, doing the longer tablet check, however, or I think, or at least what I think is the longer tablet check. And he's going to be upset to see that either medallion or either tablet, in fact, does not have the Meyer Big. Alrighty, Vortex of Doom getting ready to slay the Pig of Evil himself, Ganon, after collecting his third pendant. And Wong just be given a little bit of love from that tablet, unfortunately. And what does Ganon have in store for us today? Bacon dates to the 1500 BC's back to the pig, and I can't read that fast. That is not fair. But we are starting our Ganon fight on Vortex's side right now. And with Butter Sword, this is a very quick fight. 8 slashes to get him into phase 2, 8 slashes to get him into phase 3. And then we have silvers for phase 4. And Wong now officially in go mode at 2 hours, 1 minute, and 29 seconds. So Wong will now be beelining it into Meyer to fight Vitreous. Unfortunately, unbeknownst to him, just a little too late. As Vortex of Doom begins Ganon phase 4 and ends it with a beautiful, beautiful 3-arrow setup. Everyone, GG's in the chat. Vortex of Doom about to be completing as soon as he walks through those doors this terrible, terrible, terrible seed at 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 19 seconds. So GG's in the chat to Vortex. So it looks like we will be getting him into the chat very soon. And there Vortex is. How are you doing after that seed?
I'm doing okay. I was definitely nervous at the end because there were a few things that I did that I think might have been avoidable. I felt bad at first about hammering hype after like clearing thieves, but then I thought about it a little, and I think the early mitts probably made up the time of the double dip, because you would have had to take a whole nother loop to full clear first trip, or full clear first time and back.
Right.
And it was a 5/6 crystal, so I was positive that hammer was going to be in Pyramid Fairy. Like I was so positive that I was like, well, it's going to take me forever to get back to Swamp if I'm wrong about it. Like, so I'm going to just dip Swamp before hype on the after purple chest, and then I almost left Hype Cave after the NPC to go do Swamp and then come back. But I thought better of it. I don't remember what else was in hype. I wasn't thinking about it after that hammer. I was just...
If I recall, I don't think there was really too much in Hype Cave. I think there was a...
Yeah, no, it wasn't
There was another small key or something like that, but hammer was really
Yeah.
the thing to take away from that. And it was very unfortunate that you took Hype Cave after Swamp Palace, because we already had the info at the time, because Wong did it in reverse, where he went to Hype Cave and then straight to Swamp as soon as he got the hammer.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that's the right play, but having both 5/6 crystals in Logic, I didn't know whether Eastern or Hera was the 5/6 for sure, but I knew they were both in Logic.
Right. I believe it was Eastern.
So I just wanted to route it cleanly, and if Bombos had been in front of Swamp, it didn't even matter at first if I didn't get hammer or something. Like, I just had a bunch open. I felt good about the boots, but I almost went to escape before South Shore, but with that Master Sword, I was like, well, if I get the lamp, I can. Because I had the Hyrule Castle Small and Master Sword, and I was like, if I get lamp on South Shore or something, I can just do Aga while I'm there, boots or no. Lamp and boots both being there felt a little bad that I walked all of South Shore, but I still think I got to that about as early as was reasonable.
Yeah, you honestly, you two were just trading back and forth and high-fiving all over the place for the first like 30 minutes because there wasn't really too much more to do in those terms. The seed did not give you enough to really go really far in one direction or the other. But you did a fantastic job with the routing, I think. There are obviously some hiccups every here and there, but there's so much that factors into that. I feel like tournament nerve, because you had to orphan so many different checks. There's so many different things that had to get orphaned. There's so many different things that just feel like did not go your way or did not go anybody's way because of where some progression lays. For example, I thought it was such a silly chain that you had to go to Thieves Town and that your first glove was right on top of Blind, so that then you can go to Bumper Cave to pick up your glove only after you beat Aga.
Yeah,
that was a brutal and
three,
silly chain in the beginning.
All 3 items for Dark World access. Being in Dark World was pretty funny. I wasn't really expecting it. I was thinking something would be in Eastern, but after I got those flippers and went to, I decided to do Hera first so that I could combo an early pod dip with Eastern. And the Hera big felt kind of bad, but the pod small I got felt pretty good. So I feel like that kind of comes out in the wash. But
yeah, pod not really holding too much, unfortunately, either. I don't remember. I don't think pod really had anything in it.
It didn't have a whole lot. It was like a Skullwood Small or something that I was like, oh, that's nice to have before getting there.
So how did you feel that? How did you feel about the fetch quests in this seed? Because I feel like almost every fetch quest led to something, and because of that, I almost thought that as soon as that you guys got magic powder, that magic powder was going to be it, and that was going to be Bombos. And I was really hoping for it.
I was thinking a little bit about the mushroom and how, like, I did a whole bunch of stuff after getting the mitts. Desert Dip, checked out my area, Dark Death Mountain, which, like, wasn't max efficiency, but, like, I had everything for Swamp, and if Hammer was somewhere else, I didn't kind of wanted to just single dip the area, maybe skip Smith Chain or something. But I turned in the mushroom on that set of things, and if you just followed that route, like just did Swamp, maybe even did back first, you get your Fire Rod and Samaria, and you're like Desert Big from GT mode after you do Swamp. And I was like, well, it's possible that you don't just turn in the mushroom before GT. Not that it mattered, because Bombos happened. There are people who would get that Bombos their first trip. I used to be one of them. Now it'll never happen. I'm in GT mode. I'm heading there.
And I can't blame you, because it's really mean to give you your last TR small key on the back of Laser Bridge. And
yeah,
to when you're thinking about going back in and sacrificing like 90 seconds on that one check, hoping that it might be something, when you're probably already thinking, man, I might feel behind because you're already like an hour and 40 into the seed. So now all the little mistakes that you feel like that you might have made are really adding up, because you're thinking, oh man, there's like 5 checks I didn't check. There might be a couple different mistakes that I did that I'm not feeling too good about. I can't waste my time. I have to catch up. And then you go to GT, which has 30 some odd checks. So it makes sense that you don't go back for it. It is just so unfortunate that in this case it did not pay off.
Yeah. I was a little like I was a little worried about tile room by the end, but not really once I found bombos. I just I can never make myself check that if I don't do it immediately upon entering GT. I was like, there's 5 on the climb. I hadn't cleared a pendant yet, so like I still had, four or 5 checks in pod, 2 in skull, and then like Hera big and basement spike, and then hammer pegs, thieves big, and magic bat. So like I had way more checks. But when it came down to 50-50 for TR, big key chest and tile room, I was feeling pretty bad. But yeah, it worked out. I took an inefficient route in Mire because I really didn't want to do like cutscene early and then have big key on like bridge or spike chest, which I've done before and it feels terrible.
And how did
So
it
I
feel
lost
once you
some
got the
time
book?
in there. I legit almost left Mire right then. But it yeah, you just can't. So I didn't. But yeah, a lot of things are gonna be last located in the seed. So yeah, I thought going into Mire that there was still an off chance at a sub 2, but the fetch quest
Yeah, this seed
an
is
end to that.
so hard to get that. You have to get the early read on that bombos, or the early read in that like what can go wrong will go wrong. So you just do the bad checks because it gave you so
Yeah.
much early on. That was the interesting thing was you and Wong diverged a lot in the very beginning because of how open the seed was for you two. I think your seed was a little bit more linear because you got Fire Rod later and Cane of Samaria later.
Mhm.
But I believe Wong already had Fire Rod Cane of Samaria for like 10 minutes before you.
Yeah, I assume he just continued after
Yeah.
Bumper down south, and I thought about doing that, and I mean I definitely should have in terms of efficiency because I would have single dipped Dark Death Mountain pre TR at least, or pre double dip for
Right. And also, I
but
didn't say this
like
before, but
none of it felt too bad. Little efficiency losses, but nothing that was going to bite me too hard and could potentially pay off more. But
yeah, it was definitely tough in that aspect. I didn't say this before, but chat give GGs to Wong finishing up at 206.52 in the chat. I don't know if Wong is going to come in the chat or not for
he had
GGs.
to get ready for work.
Oh, okay.
As do I pretty soon here. So
okay. Well then,
yeah, GGs.
Yeah, GGs. I'll keep it short then. Is there anything else that you want to mention that you want to talk about prior to getting ready for work then?
No, just I'm happy to be on the board. We had a rough last week, but nice to get one done.
Yeah,
I'll
tough
put it in the
matches.
books, and good luck to Scoople and Flip, but mostly Scoople tonight. Game 2 of our series is happening at 8 p.m. So looking forward to watching that one with a little less stress now. So
yeah, well, I'll be more than happy to catch that as well. And GG's to you. You two put up a very, very entertaining seed and very entertaining run. I'm so sorry about several of those locations. But
really, Boots and Flute makes up for an awful lot in terms of how fun a seed was.
I was so happy to see you. I was so happy that Boots was early because I was just like praying that Boots would be early for early Flute because then you guys can just zip everywhere. And thankfully, that was actually the case.
Yeah, GG's to PRD, and thank you to SpeedGaming and you and Oro for putting on the restream. So thanks a lot.
Yeah. Once again, follow these runners and go check them out. Give them a little bit of love on the stream. Say hi. Ask them how their day is. Whatever you want to do. check out Vortex Doom, check out PRD Wallen. They put up a great show right now, and they're going to continue putting out great races and great shows. And give a hand to Oro, because he's really the unsung hero right now, tracking for me and taking care of that while I'm just sitting here, just watching, enjoying, and talking. But with that said, hope you have a good day at work, and I wish you both your teams good luck on your next round.